Welcome back to Get My Go. I'm not sure what number this is. We've already recorded episodes 64 and 65. They're in the can. They're ready to go. But we've had some breaking news last week. The guy we're going to watch claims that this is going to be the biggest news story of 2022. He may be right. He may not be.
He may be crazy.
Might just be a lunatic.
Lunatic, but a very successful lunatic. Let's clear this up at the beginning for all the JD fans that are watching this, that are hate watching this. No, we're not jealous of JD. We respect him. The guy is obviously the most successful fan that has a show or a podcast or anything. I watched his stream the other night, and the guy is making a shitload of money off people like you. So we're not really mocking him. We're mocking you. You are the marks that are paying another mark to tell you his opinion. I don't understand that. So all respect to JD from me anyway. I respect the guy, not jealous. I tip my cap to him. He's making a shitload of money off doing what he's doing. So God bless him. You know, he goes a little bit overboard though. He gets very angry at Cody in the clip that we're going to watch.
Little bit. I'll piggyback a little bit. I respect the fact that he's stayed with it, okay? Because from what I recall about him, he started around the time Joe started, I started, John Pods, when we first started rolling out Two-Man Power Trip. I remember hearing the name JD from NY. I've never been a YouTube guy. I've never been a guy to stream the content on YouTube. I've been always more of an audio guy. I was brought up in broadcasting and radio. So that's where I kind of always wanted my stuff was to be
radio show.
A radio show and a TV network, of course. But I wanted my stuff to be in audio. So I can respect that he stayed with the YouTube audience as it's grown and become what it is. I just personally don't see the allure of the content and wanting to hear this guy talk the way he does. I mean, and now I'm a sports radio fan, and again, raised on sports radio, and those guys are giving their opinions, but for the most part, they're experts in the field in which they're discussing and can discuss more than one topic. So this is where my beef with him kind of steps in. It's like, what is it about him that makes these marks pay the money that they're paying to him directly to just talk about what we're all watching? That part I don't get.
Yeah, right. It's like the one that we watched before was a SmackDown review, and it's like, so the people that are watching him spent 2 hours watching SmackDown, hate watching it and going, oh, this sucks. Oh, look at this booking. Oh, and then they watch another 2 hours of someone going, oh, this sucks. Look at this booking. So it's just like double the pain. Like, why? I don't understand. First off, why you would watch anything you don't like. Now we're watching people complain about something that we don't like. It's like you're doubling up. I just don't understand it.
And to me, it's also the blurring of the lines thing. It's when did we finally forget wrestling was a work? And the way I listen to so many people talk, and it's clicking links, it's shows being published where they're making it like this is actual real life stuff going on between the guys. So that's why I'm kind of surprised he's tackling a topic like Cody departing AEW, because he's usually just giving real opinions on a fake storyline or a pre-rehearsed promo or something like that. So this is where it's an interesting thing we're going to look at, but I just don't get when the line was really blurred, and that's what everybody's buying into is, you're listening to a guy give his opinion about a TV show that he's a little too invested in.
A little bit. Just a little bit.
Well, to all the JD marks who are watching this, thank you for watching, number one. Leave your comments below if you hate us, if you want to call us jealous. Go ahead and drop a comment. Drop 2 comments. Tell us how jealous we are. And we'll never achieve the great success that JD has. That's fine. Go ahead.
Or if you want to pay me to bitch about WWE in a faux New York accent, I can do that too. I'll work really hard on the accent. I'll wear a Mets. Well, he doesn't wear a Mets hat.
No, he doesn't. That's a huge beef.
He wears a Braves hat. That's right. Yeah.
I mean, do you want me to do it? I was born in Brooklyn, raised in Jersey. I mean, you want me to turn it up?
What kind of asshole from New York is a Braves fan anyway? That's wearing a Braves hat in Philadelphia. Like, what are you doing?
Well, to all the JD marks, let us introduce ourselves. One half of the mighty Two-Man Power Trip of Wrestling, Chad, the Chadster. And you have a Chadster t-shirt now available at belowthecollar.com/IB exclusive. So all you JD marks, stop giving money to him. Go buy a Chadster t-shirt. Chad, just tell all these JD marks some of the shows that you do, and you actually work with real wrestlers, wrestling legends.
Yeah, I mean, look, I broadcasting background. I worked for WWE. I presently do shows with, I don't know, the franchise, Shane Douglas, Triple Threat podcast, the Queen of Extreme, Francine. Interviewed hundreds of legends alongside my TMPT Empire brother, John Paz. And, you know, it's just one of these things. It's when you're good at this and you have longevity, you keep yourself around for a long time. And that's why I am here.
The head of the Creative Control Network and the producer of Keeping It 100 with Conan and Disco. I'm sure all the JD marks love Disco Inferno.
Yeah, if you guys want to contribute your money to listening to two actual pros talk, including one who's booking the biggest company in Mexico at the time, check out the Conan Patreon at patreon.com/Conan or listen to K100 every week. You will hear actual thoughts from actual wrestlers on actual wrestling. I also co-host The Raven Effect with Raven and Rich Bikini. That is not a wrestling show. If you're a fan of Raven's shoot interviews where he can get a little silly, then maybe it is the show for you. It's not everybody's cup of tea, and that's fine. And then on the Creative Control Network, we have Francine, we have Kevin Sullivan, Dutch Mantel, and Dr. Tom Pritchard at the moment, as far as wrestling names, and there's more to come. So what else do I do? I produce and edit all Conrad's podcasts. So I mean, you know, you might, it's a bunch of nobodies. Well, I just produce Conrad shows, you know, pretty big names.
All right, let's get into it. This is Off the Script, number 413 with JD from New York. Cody Rhodes is signing with WWE.
Oh, my God. We're starting off with the Pixar car.
Well, actually, there was like a 9-minute intro of just the car by itself. Then he rolled the window down, and then he appeared.
In the last 24 hours, we had the news break last night. Cody Rhodes single-handedly has taken all the headlines away from Steve Austin, as he is the first to defect from AEW to WWE, potentially.
Is he doing a wind sound effect while he's driving? Because all I hear is him talking and...
It's either that or some heavy breathing.
Why is this happening? What do I know? And is this career suicide for Cody Rhodes? Joining the evil empire, working with Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard. It's going to be a big show, guys.
I think it's like thunder and lightning in the background.
I don't think there's anything to rant about.
I don't think there's anything to rant about, okay? Remember that.
Famous last words.
Jesus Christ. And by the way, what he knows, what does he know? And who's going to confirm it to him? Stop it. Stop it right there.
It is happy hour, man. Somebody make me a fucking old-fashioned.
No.
I'm going to the venue, man. The beverages are cold, and Jesse's got tacos. 2 for 1. But I need to know one thing before I go and meet you guys over there. What the fuck are you guys drinking?
Oh, God. How lame.
I'll see you over there.
I mean, come on. Just first off, an old-fashioned. You know, we were making fun of our own White Claw drinkage earlier, but an old-fashioned, really, JD, I don't see you much as a whiskey drinking type of guy. You know what I mean?
I am your host, JD from New York, and this is the OTS venue. Thank you guys for joining me on your Tuesday nights. It is not happy hour for anybody that is a fan of AEW television today. I got texts that blew up my phone, waking me up this morning. I was on the phone with a couple of people who are already in the know. They will remain anonymous.
They will remain anonymous because they do not exist. I mean, and that's like, all right, he's a popular guy. Maybe he does know some people, but not anybody of any importance, you know, because his reputation is dog shit anyway. Among, you know, in the wrestling world, it's just a mark with a podcast, you know, and sometimes worse is the feelings on him from what I've heard and seen and read.
Didn't this news break at like 10 a.m.? On the East Coast? Is he still asleep at 10 a.m.? Come on, man.
He's drinking. He's up all night drinking in the venue. Come on.
Yeah, is the beer fake, by the way? Is this? I'm looking at this again first time. So he's got a fake beer and a fake laptop in the venue here behind him.
Fake like notepad or tablet or something.
I didn't know this about him, but he does. I don't know if he does commentary or he books for some. Oh, he does commentary.
No, not book. No, he does commentary. Yeah.
Yeah, for some local. The Glory. What's it called? Glory Hole Wrestling.
Yeah. So he's a less successful Kevin Gill.
Yeah.
Look, and Feeney, you could probably attest to this too. When you start to do podcasts and you get a little bit of success, you could just knock on your local indie's door and they let you do whatever the hell you want. I mean, John and I worked with an indie in the West Virginia area. John was on TV doing managing. I was doing producing behind the scenes. I mean, that is not that hard to attain if you've got a little bit of podcast know and broadcasting experience. So this guy being the Glory Hole Wrestling commentator, it's, it's not that hard to believe, especially in New York. It's not that hard to believe. It's just whatever. Let's keep going.
I was like the roving reporter for the Monster Factory, and I submitted angles. So it doesn't really.
Yeah, it's not that hard to do if you've got any kind of movement around the podcast world. Yeah. They get it. So have the Glory Wrestling one, whatever he's a part of, he's got an audience. He'll promote the show. Therefore, people will tune into it. Whether or not he's got broadcasting experience, I will explain it like this: he's got a little bit of presence. He's got a good voice. Yeah. But it's how he's channeling the cursing already. He's trying to prove he's a tough guy. He's putting up the fake exterior already, but he's got good presence. That's something I can give him a compliment on.
A lot of people, I guarantee you, a lot of you guys are waiting for me to rant on this. I know there are a bunch of people waiting for me to choose sides for this situation. Choose AEW over WWE. Blast WWE, blast Cody Rhodes, turn my back against Cody Rhodes. I know there are a lot of people that want me to choose sides here. I'm not choosing sides.
Remember that.
I was going to say, spoiler alert, he chooses sides.
I'm not choosing sides. The old JD probably would have chose sides and would have brought himself to a near stroke if I went live. Not going to do that, man. There's no reason to do that.
I'm looking at him right now. He looks pretty old to me, but he meant the old J. Okay, I get
he looks pretty old.
Cody is the master manipulator. You never know what's going on with Cody Rhodes, ever. He loves playing up the fans. He's even deleted, quote unquote, a soft
quote unquote, he said. Yeah.
Excuse me. Yeah. And so we know that in his past, his resume, his CV, if you will, does not include an English degree or, maybe not even a college education. I don't know. It's quote unquote. That's Wanglish right there, straight up.
It's total Wanglish.
He's even deleted, quote unquote, a soft delete of his Twitter account.
Also, I think there's a slight fumble there when he says he loves playing up the fans. What does that mean? Playing up? Playing to the fans? Maybe playing with the fan? Playing up the fans? That's not a thing. No one says that.
I'm nervous for the quote under the quote that the quote is on top of it. I'm kind of nervous for it.
No idea what's going on. I don't even know what's going on to this minute with Cody Rhodes. This could all be a fucking huge work.
Oy.
Some people are out. There's a huge majority of the community that still think it's an absolute work. I'm here to tell you that it's not a work. I don't think it's a work.
What's the community?
The IWC.
I hate that.
So the people that just post stuff, that's the community?
Yeah.
He could be. Yeah. I mean, that's. I don't want to be a part of any community with JD or any of the people in the chat room. So
that's so dorky.
Yeah.
That's just come on, guys.
I want to believe it's a work because it would be one of the best works that I've seen personally in all my 30 plus years watching professional wrestling. But I'm here to tell you that this is not a work.
Kind of hope it is.
This is 100% legit.
It's a weird number to throw out. 30 plus years as a wrestling fan. I mean,
you see that a lot when a wrestler criticizes a fan or something on Twitter, and they'll come back and be like, "I've been watching since 1985." Yeah, but what does that mean? What does that really mean? Does it make you a historian?
So Feeney, I'm sure we and all of us, Mike, I even think maybe even before.
I love you.
What 1987 is how long? 35, 36 years ago. So like, is that what I need to start boasting on my resume as a 36-year wrestling fan? That gives me the knowledge like that I have going forward. Is that the standard now?
Make a T-shirt. 30 plus years.
If you are somebody that I've worked with, if you are somebody that is a fan of the show and you're listening to this and you work for a major promotion, whether it be one or the other.
Do you think anybody in a major promotion is watching this?
No. And I say that with all sincerity. No. I'm not busting balls. Absolutely not. And the only time I saw his name ever referenced by anyone from a major company was when he made that comment about Alexa Bliss, and then everyone came out against him. His name is mud. Absolute mud.
Or one of the indie promotions, do not, please do not jump into the pool without knowing what is going on. Don't. These people will swallow you up and eat you alive.
Didn't he mean don't jump in the pool until you check the temperature or something? Like, that was like a half a cliche. What the fuck are you doing?
Is it a virtual pool or a real pool?
It's probably a virtual pool. He's not taking his shirt off.
Is it a quote unquote pool?
Quote unquote virtual pool. Virtual girls.
Episode title.
Yeah.
Virtual old fashioned.
You're not Cody Rhodes. You're not Chris Jericho. It could mean things are changing, but at the end of the day, nothing is going to change. Nothing is going to change. WWE, the only thing that's going to change about WWE is the income that they have coming into the company on a yearly basis, on a quarterly basis. They could not give a single shit about a Cody Rhodes or a Chris Jericho. Cody Rhodes and a Chris Jericho are money signs, dollar signs to them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. They're
accurate.
They're action figures and placemats and lunchboxes and video game characters. And yes, you figured the business out, kid.
Cody Rhodes, and I'll get to this in a little bit, this is career suicide for Cody Rhodes. Career suicide. Am I going to disown Cody Rhodes? Am I going to not be a fan of Cody Rhodes anymore? Am I going to come on here and make Cody Rhodes public enemy number one every Wednesday night, every week? No, I'm not. I wish nothing but the best for Cody Rhodes. I just don't
compliment sandwich, baby. Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
trust the people that he's potentially signing with. That's my fucking problem. Nobody should give WWE Bruce, Vince, People Power, Johnny Laurinaitis, Kevin Dunn, Nick Khan. Don't give any of these people the benefit of the doubt. They don't give a shit about you. They don't give a shit about us. You're walking in there as public enemy number one. You've actively taken revenue away and audience away from WWE.
Come on, dude.
Where's that come from?
They've never taken money away from WWE. Come on.
Who's he talking about? AEW's taking money away from WWE?
Yeah.
No, because Cody with AEW is responsible for taking revenue.
They
away.
just took or are on the verge of taking a guy who was instrumental in building what they've built and was a face of that revolution and then whatever. It's the biggest coup of this AEW existence is somebody leaving there and going back to WWE. I mean, that's it. And the money they're going to print is the only thing that they are going to care about. And I hate to break it to Mr. D here, is that that's the only thing Cody is caring about is the money. Say it with me, JD. The money. Remember Vince with the money? It's that. That's exactly all they care about. Come on.
And another thing, I don't know if JD here mentions it, but not only was he a face of the company, one of the founding fathers or whatever, but he was one of the faces of that network of TNT, right? Because he had the reality show and he did that big show or Go Home or whatever the fuck it's called.
We like to say in the New Jersey area, I'm sure down in Philly, they say the same thing. He knows where the bodies are buried. Period.
Yep.
They're going to welcome you with open arms? Yes, for the first couple weeks, you'll be fucking the best guy in the locker room. You'll be, oh my God, we got Cody Rhodes. Ha 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 ha. Tony Khan. And then what happens the longer that relationship goes on? Cody Rhodes starts to get buried. Cody Rhodes comes in. He's used a little bit too much than where he should really be used. He's being used on television way more than he should.
I know exactly where it goes in the next couple of years. Cody Rhodes, multi-time world champion. That's exactly where it goes. One of the top 3 faces in the company, I'm sure. Faces of the company.
What is ultimately the reason why Cody Rhodes is ultimately going to join WWE and be the first major name to defect from All Elite Wrestling to WWE? Cody Rhodes is an egomaniac. That's what it boils down to. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I'm just giving it to you how I see it. This is all an ego thing with Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes may want more appreciation for what he's done on AEW television. Cody Rhodes may be slighted a little bit, and it's a hurt to his ego that the fans don't really appreciate him. Maybe Tony Khan is listening to the fan base, and he's really translating that into his relationship with Tony Khan. Maybe he doesn't value Cody Rhodes as he valued Cody Rhodes in the beginning. Cody Rhodes wants control. Cody Rhodes wanted AEW to be the reincarnation of WCW. That's not what Matt, Nick, and Kenny Omega want. I know that for a fucking fact.
Do you?
If I was a lawyer, I'd say, objection, hearsay, objection, conjecture. Like, come on. Where the fuck is, I mean, and to plainly state that a wrestler has an ego, they all got egos. Buddy.
Every one of them.
Come on.
Without Tony Khan, there is no AEW.
No shit.
Right then and there, Cody Rhodes is defeated in any fucking back and forth with anybody as far as what he wants and what AEW wants. Without Tony Khan, none of this is a reality. There is no Matt and Nick Jackson on TNT. There's no Kenny Omega on TNT. And Cody Rhodes would not have been brought to the realization that, yes, there is another alternative to the fucking evil empire in WWE. Without...
So basically, to make big money on YouTube and super chats and all I have to do is say the most obvious shit in the world in a loud voice. Like, for example, let me give it a try. If Steve Austin comes back to WrestleMania, it will mean huge box office.
$20 super chat.
Dude, he gets these fucking crazy super chats at the end, like $49.99. I didn't see any hundreds, but there were some big ones, man.
It's quite exhilarating, when you see them coming in and you're doing your thing. You can get into a vibe, and you can see how he's picked up his aggression as he's talked and as he's worked himself into it. But I think he's worked himself into a shoot, is what he's done. He's got himself a little wrapped up around the pinky finger of the IWC, brother.
Tony Khan, there is none of this. There's no TNT, there's no Dynamite, there's no CM Punk, there's no Bryan Danielson, there's no Adam Cole. There's no unbelievable roster that AEW has accumulated. Without Tony Khan, none of this is a possibility. Bryan's still with WWE. Adam Cole is still with WWE. CM Punk is still disgruntled and retired at home with his wife, walking his dog. Now, but Cody Rhodes' ego is damaged because he doesn't have his vision and his creative control.
Okay.
Well,
I mean, come on.
he didn't have people love that. I love saying creative control. People love saying creative control when it's been made clear that Cody booked his own shit. Kenny booked his own shit and had booked some of the women's division. The Bucks were booking their own shit. Jericho books their own shit. Does Tony Khan have the final say? Yes. But Cody had plenty of creative freedom. And most of the stuff you saw on TV was from his brain.
So what's Cody Rhodes going to do now? You don't think that they're considering you public enemy number one? You think they're going to welcome you back with open arms? These are the same fucking people that did not want to let go of the trademark of your family fucking name. I don't think there's anything to rant about. They held that name hostage for all those years, and you were known as the American Nightmare, Cody. Who the fuck is Cody? I know who Cody Rhodes is. Who's Cody? You weren't even allowed to use your family name on television thanks to Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard. But here you are wanting to walk back into the evil empire. You think they're going to welcome you with open arms?
Can anyone remind me what happened the first night the Hardys came back at WrestleMania?
Huge pop, memorable moment,
Tag team titles.
never forgotten. Can I point out that WWE wouldn't let go of like the Mantar trademark?
Yeah.
It's their they if they own the trademark, why would they just willingly give it up? It's money. That's all it is it's money. I mean, like, come on, like, you think that they're really clinging to some of those like the conquistadors trademark? But if somebody wants to trademark, yeah, they're going to claim it's their property. I mean, it's business, you dumbass. It's business.
Fucking put on fake smiles and give you fucking little hugs and whatnot. That locker room will welcome you back. But I don't think this means anything but career suicide for Cody Rhodes.
He sounds like he's from the Bronx. I've been thinking about this the whole time when you said what borough is he from. Mm-hmm. It's got to be the Bronx because he's not very intelligent. And the way he keeps getting more amped, it's coming out more. And that is the Bronx if I've ever heard it.
So that's just Yankees, my Northeast ears. Wouldn't he be a Yankees fan then?
That is the home of the Bronx Bombers, the New York Yankees. So again, I'm questioning that Atlanta Braves hat. I'm thinking maybe somebody thought that the Atlanta Braves hat would be like his thing, and that's why he stuck with it. And also why it looks so ratty and old and probably does not smell very nice.
To me, he seems like a guy who grew up in like a rich suburb, kind of near the Bronx, but he Bronxes it up and says he's from the Bronx, but he's really just some rich kid. Yeah.
He's from Scarsdale, like Paul Heyman. He's from like one of those little suburban areas.
I could sit here and fantasize about Cody Rhodes being with WWE. I could sit here and fantasize about Cody Rhodes and the matches that he could have with AJ Styles, with Edge, with Finn Balor, with Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Come on.
What do you guys fantasize about?
I've never fantasized about a wrestling match or two guys facing each other. No.
It sounds like a problem.
I mean, what did we just say that we used to call that a dream match? We didn't say we fantasized about it, but back in the 90s, we'd be like, what if Steve Austin took on Goldberg? That would be awesome. We weren't like, I'm fantasizing presently. First, they put on their trunks. Then they oil up their chests and pull their knee pads above their knees, slowly caressing their thighs as they warm their legs up for competition. No, that's very sick.
Bad choice of words. Bad choice of words, JD. Take it easy.
I could fantasize all that.
Yeah, you could.
That's right.
Is Cody Rhodes going to be given scripted promos on WWE television?
Yes.
Is he going to go out there and cut the same type of visceral promos that strike the heart on AEW television on Monday Night Raw, on Friday night? I don't see how this is a good thing. I don't think there's anything to rant about.
I got to point out, isn't it known that Cody workshopped his promos to test audiences while he's been in AEW? Yeah. Hence, the not being, he's used to being around writers from his previous days in WWE, so he sees what works. He's known for doing that. So he's just going and continuing what he's done in the recent past.
When I make a suggestion for the venue, and that's with all this fantasizing, there should be a bottle of Jergens on the table there instead of that fake beer. That would, and a box of tissues or a sock, depending on whatever he uses. The wall, maybe wipes it on the wall.
Is that what the VIP is for? Is that what goes on back there?
Yeah, that's the Jergens room.
Do you realize where this guy's going to work potentially?
Oh, remember in the beginning he said he wasn't going to get upset.
A lot of screaming. Maybe double up on the Valium.
You do realize where this guy's going to work, potentially, right? I don't like it. I don't like it because I know what to expect. We've been watching it happen every single week. Is Cody Rhodes going to be given those freedoms in the company? No.
Another one I could point out is a guy who jumped from another company that was like the face of the company was AJ Styles.
Yeah.
So what happened within 6 months of AJ Styles joining WWE? Oh, he was the champion. That's right. Calm down, buddy. What happened when Hulk Hogan came back from WCW? Oh, they pushed him to the moon.
He's the champ in 2 months.
I want to believe this is a work. I really want to believe this is a work. But it's not a money thing. It's an ego thing. It's not a money thing. It's Tony Khan and Cody Rhodes clashing heads. That's why Nick, Matt have signed the new deal. Kenny Omega is still with AEW. He's probably going to ultimately sign a new deal. They know where their money sits. They know where their future sits. It sits in the lap of Tony Khan. Without Tony Khan, they know none of their lifestyles, none of them right now would even exist. The Young Bucks are bigger than ever before because of the backing of Tony Khan. Kenny Omega is bigger than he was ever before because of the backing of Tony Khan. We have a true alternative to WWE because of the backing of Tony Khan. Cody Rhodes thinks he's better than the management and the financial fucking generosity of Tony Khan.
The financial generosity.
I mean, what do you think he would do on a date with Tony Khan? Because that's clearly something he's fantasized about. Like, he's in love with this man. He's in love with him.
He's just going to go right for it. That's what he's going to do.
Just wants to ruffle that hair, maybe let Tony hit him with a stunner, all that kind of fun shit.
By all means, go to WWE. I pray to the wrestling gods that they realize what they're getting with you. You bring so much to the fucking table that it would be an absolute fucking sin for them to waste it, laugh in your face, and use you merely as a fucking trophy on their mantle, looking at you as, ha, 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 we took one of the founding fathers of this and have now sullied him and destroyed him into nothing.
Okay. That's it?
No, I mean, I really, I'm starting to get an idea of like what the entire YouTube show is about. And even in my most diehard of wrestling days, I would never fucking watch this. Like, I don't understand. I'm at a loss.
Guess how long this show was?
220.
158. So
Wow.
Just under 2 hours.
But talking about Cody only.
Cody only, and then he does the show that he's doing now, and then I think that the last third of it is him reading comments and getting super chats and that kind of thing. So,
well, I pray to the podcasting and YouTube gods that he loses his voice permanently. That's what I pray.
I don't see this as being a good thing at all. I will be here. I will be supporting him. I hope Brandy and Cody have nothing but happiness. I genuinely do. But I am not here to sit here and baby opinions and fucking get excited about this. This is the WWE. This is Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard. They got more fucking victims and casualties on their resume. More careers have been killed by these men in the last 2 years than I care to even fucking recognize. I would not like Cody Rhodes to be added to that list.
That's a little vague. Can we pull out the Marco Stunts of the world and all these people that have left AEW in the last 2 years? WWE's released a ton of talent. They've been pretty transparent about a lot of the people they released. They weren't really doing much with. I wouldn't say killed their careers. These guys go out on the indie scene and make a killing. I think AEW releasing the guys that they built the company around early is a little bit more of making a mockery out of those signings.
Yeah. I mean, look at Matt Cardona. I mean, how well do you think he's doing? He's everywhere. NWA, GCW, Impact. He's got his podcast. He's selling the toys, and that's only because he was released.
No, it's a damn good point, and Myers did that before the first time that he was released. Myers went around the scene big time, and it seemed like it was the right time, and then he went back at the right time, and he got released. And look at what they've done. It's unbelievable. Did WWE kill their careers?
What does Cody Rhodes bring to the table on Friday night? He's instantly the second biggest guy walking in on that show, and for a fact he's not going to be the guy over Roman Reigns. He goes to Monday Night Raw, he instantly becomes the biggest name on that fucking brand.
Come on.
Rock Lesnar?
I mean, that's just a flawed statement. Again, is Cody Rhodes coming in as a heel? Because if Roman Reigns is a heel, then and Cody Rhodes is a babyface, they don't get put in the same tier. One's a top babyface, one's a top heel. You're not trying to outshine the top heel if you're the top babyface. They're trying to put the shine on the babyface. It's the whole point of good guy versus bad guy. So for him to say he's going to go on a certain show and not be the biggest star, it's a flawed statement by a fan who doesn't know what he's talking about.
What is he going to do on Monday Night Raw? Lesnar's there. Bobby Lashley's there. Is WWE going to push Cody Rhodes over any of their made men on Monday or Friday night? No. He's going to fall in line like everybody else. This is potential career suicide. Potential career suicide.
No.
He knows that. He knows that.
Uh-huh.
Cody's from their developmental. Cody is a homemade guy. If anything, Vince sent a homemade guy out to another promotion who achieved the success that Vince saw in him by signing him, and is bringing him back as the star Vince envisioned him in. Cody, before all the Stardust stuff, does anybody remember, what was it, like Battleground 2012, the Rhodes family versus the Shield? Quite possibly my favorite match of the last 10 years. Yeah. Vince saw this in the guy already. That's why he put all the investment into him that he did. He released him and he became a bigger star. So now he's coming home as a original homegrown developmental talent. You douche. Like, look at the full spectrum here. It's not one-sided. He didn't come to who he is in AEW. He did that by where he started in the WWE and in that system and brought that to AEW.
Yeah, you could say Drew McIntyre is a similar case.
Yes, exactly.
Where he was brought up in WWE after they've signed him from Europe and all that shit over there. And he left and made himself a bigger name and got in better shape and all that. And bingo, he was a WrestleMania main eventer.
You have a morale in WWE's locker room right now where Sap just reported. Sap just reported.
I don't think there's anything to rant about.
That WWE's morale is the lowest it's ever been following the Royal Rumble.
He's losing his fucking mind.
I love the repeating. I have to add the repeating now to my new yelling persona.
That's a great tactic. That's how you hit it home. That's how you get people to believe what you're saying, is by repeating it with the passion that he's doing it at. Now, I mean, quoting, a Sean Ross Sapp tweet or post or whatever that any of us could make up and just say, yeah, man, look, after that Elimination Chamber the other day, they're all feeling like, on the fence. They did get, allowed to take off this time, so they felt that they were moving in the right direction.
Speaking of repeating yourself, do you guys know anybody else who might do that?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Welcome back to Root TV tonight. We are here. Very special episode. You know what? I'm having a problem. Tonight, guys. So here's the problem.
And Jimmy Two Times, who got that nickname because he said everything twice, like...
I'm gonna go get the papers.
Oh, please, let's hear Rue, please. I really want to tonight.
Now gave me my brainstorm for the next Rue episode we do for a title. They've come to snuff the rooster.
That locker room has voices that are not heard and constantly ignored, with Vince McMahon turning his face away from his active roster. And Cody Rhodes wants to have a falling out with Tony Khan because Tony Khan took the baton and is now running AEW. Tony Khan is the reason why AEW exists. You either fall in line with Tony Khan and you accept your position while being open to change.
There are a lot of people that want me to choose sides here. I'm not choosing sides.
The fuck? I mean, this is if we weren't doing this for the show, I'm already aggravated with it. I can't imagine watching this in my free time. Like, this guy, I can't stand someone that screams all the time. I can't. It's fucking like murder to my ears.
While also having your opinions heard, or you don't go to AEW and don't work there.
Okay. Well, he just said it. Is he just like desperate for a follow or something by Tony Khan? Like, what does he want a press pass? Is he allowed to go to those junkets after the big shows? Like, is that why he's? Then that's a big thing with AEW. They've given these guys the free reign to attend these press junkets and feel like they are actual journalists and part of the media.
And they really just want to be near the wrestlers.
That's it. They just want to be in the same like little general area as them. Is that why he's being so like, as we would maybe say the technical term is being a kiss ass to one Mr. Khan? Because this is it's a little over the top. And again, you got to think, did he not get the resume response that he wanted from WWE? Is that what it was? Is he a failed production worker? Did he think he could maybe join the writing staff with no education or any kind of like wherewithal or any kind of like talent? Is that what it is? Is it personal? Because that's what it feels like to me by listening to this.
Yeah. There's no reason to get this emotionally involved in something else. There's a personal aspect to it.
Cody Rhodes has potentially killed his own career. That's what it seems like to me. Cody Rhodes is actively on the verge of destroying his own career. He fits nowhere managerial-wise. He fits nowhere as an executive. He fits nowhere as an active wrestler. The value of Cody Rhodes right now is at an all-time high. He walks into WWE, Cody Rhodes just becomes like everybody else. Just like everybody else. Cody Rhodes, and that's it. Nothing special about him at all.
So he's going to wind up rich and internationally recognized? Oh, no.
Guys, those are my thoughts on Cody Rhodes. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. You guys are having a blast in the live stream chat. 3,500 people here today.
So
It's
35, yeah, very impressive. So 3,500 people in that chat for that show. And I tried to join another show a couple days ago. I wanted to join in the chat and comment, but you have to pay $4.99 to join in and be part of his chat.
God.
So
damn.
3,500 times $4.99.
I'm not doing the math. I'm just not doing it. $10.
Math is on the screen. I'm gonna do the math in post. It's on the screen. Right now. It's a ridiculous.
That's unbelievable. That's crazy. I mean, like, again, and just like you said at the top, it's not out of any kind of like jealousy. It's impressive. There's no two ways to get around it. This is what, when we go live or we do something that we want to publish, we want everybody to comment and subscribe and go to our sponsors and do all this stuff. So that's not the knock. It's the content. That's the knock. It's the over-the-top reaction. There is no way on God's green earth that anybody who doesn't have a financial involvement, like maybe somebody on WWE's board of directors could react to this if they wanted to and give this kind of reaction because they know the financial ramifications. This guy losing his shit and the way he's losing it is just like, it's very concerning and it's very sad all in the same time.
Yeah, I was going to say it's not, although I'd love to make that amount of money for this, not even for this. Like I've said on shows before, it wouldn't be worth it to watch WWE programming right now and force myself to, but it's not jealousy. It's fucking embarrassment. Like this is embarrassing. This is why wrestlers see podcasters the way they do because of him and guys like him.
I pulled up WWE's career site on my left-hand screen here. And if JD wants, they have writer positions available. If you feel that you can contribute to this creative process, why don't you put your resume together, leave off everything podcast related, apply for this job, and get back to me and tell me how that application status is.
Definitely leave off anything podcast related.
Guys, I appreciate you hanging out today, man. That's all I got for you. We killed it today. We had 3,400 people in the venue for happy hour. I need two things from you guys before I get out of here, man. Number one, I need those guitar emojis in the chat. Number two, those VIPs. I need those Mustang emojis. And when that music comes on, I need that music on max.
Yeah.
I'll see you guys tonight for NXT, and thank you for a great live stream right here for episode 413 on Off the Script. I'll see you guys later.
All right, you
I want a microphone in my car tomorrow. And I want to drive with a microphone.
He wasn't even done for the day. I mean, holy shit.
He's making money while he's driving away. Look at all that.
He's driving away from the money. Money's that way, JD. The venue's that way. I would have thought the venue was in the guy's basement for how it was presented, but look how far he has to go.
You should be driving away that fast. That's what you do when you commit a bank robbery.
Just not crash Princess Diana's car. We don't want to trigger anybody. We've already that's already been done before. Now, Mike, I got to ask you this because you're the one who painfully watched this.
Wait a minute, I have to interject.
Sure.
We don't want him to end up like Princess Diana. We want him to end up like Paul Walker. Thank you.
Spoiler alert. Ends the same way. Mike, what was the transition between him leaving the venue and getting back into the car?
You don't see it. All of a sudden, I think, you know what? I can look.
It just shows the outside of the bar while he's talking, and then all of a sudden he's in the car. I got to wrap up because I got to do fucking K100 talks.
I'm sorry. I'm just going to hold up a big L on my forehead because, I mean, that's really all I can say as it relates to this. This is too much. This doesn't make it fun. This doesn't make wrestling any more interesting. This is what makes it sad. This is why a lot of people, and I have talked to others who aren't really in the same realm that we are in, that say wrestling has become nerd culture. And I can't believe that because Joe, you watch, the shows you do, you watch old stuff, you see those crowds, and it was the dudes with the beer and the long hair, and everybody's wearing the NWO shirts and the black and the metal shirts, all that crap, and it wasn't nerdy culture. And I hate anything that calls itself nerdy, right? Wrestling as nerd culture, oof, that hurt.
Here's the transition from the venue to the car, Chad.
I'd love that, man. Holy shit.
Somebody's revving it up for him.
Jonathan Gamache with a Canadian $10 super chat. Love the show, JD. Big fan. Was at the meet and greet in AC. John from Montreal. Keep up the best work. Jonathan, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you coming to the meet and greet, man. We had a blast.
I bet.
At the fucking meet and greet in Atlantic City, bro. Thank you so much.
What did he greet? Oh, there we go.
With a $4.99 super chat. Cody Rhodes to appear tonight on.
Yeah. It's a nice microcosm, if you will, of what is going wrong in wrestling and the wrestling fandom. It really, really is. It keeps normaler. It's not a word, but it keeps them away because it's like people wouldn't, like a normal person that would go see Spider-Man isn't going to go to a comic book convention or a Wizard World because they don't want to deal with certain people, certain kinds of people. And that's what's happening to wrestling. That's what's happening to wrestling crowds. That's what's happening at wrestling conventions. The only difference is probably WrestleMania, but.
Well, thank you guys for watching that with me. Thank you very much, Chad and Joe. Chad, where can we find you on social media?
At ChadEMB on Twitter, at IB Exclusives on Instagram. You can get that shirt that Mike Durband is wearing, perfectly rated, the OG Chadster shirt, at IBExclusives.com. But my new t-shirt store is belowthecollar.com/IB Exclusives. I have my IB Exclusives branded t-shirt as well as my Chadster t-shirt. And everything I do podcasting related, tmptempire.com and patreon.com/eyesuphere. I love doing my shows, and now I love doing more on the Creative Control Network, and we've run some Eyes Up Here specials on there, and there is more coming soon to a podcast app near you.
Yes, and where can we get that shirt that Joe is wearing? Disco Inferno. Welcome to the business, honey. You can get that at prowrestlingtees.com/Mike Durband. That's right, it's on my page. It's not on Glenn's. It's not on the Keep It 100. I designed that shirt, and Glenn has let me put it up on my store. He gets the commission for it, so if you want to support the Disco Inferno, check that shirt out. There's another one on there, too. Oh, yeah, go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, because I got to bounce. I'm at JFEney3RD on Twitter. Check out at K100 Conan on all social media platforms or Keeping It 100. And follow Keeping It 100 on Spreaker. Listen on Spreaker for the 3 shows a week that we put out. Of course, check out Creative Control Network at the CC Network 1, where we have Francine, Dutch Mantell, Tom Pritchard, Kevin Sullivan, and a cast of others. I don't want to leave anybody out, but I got to split. So,
all right. Thank you, Joe. You can check me out on Twitter at Mike Durband. On Instagram, it's Mike. I forgot what it is. I think it's Mike_Durband_show. ProWrestlingTees.com/Mike Durband. YouTube.com/Mike Durband. And please, for the love of God, subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to the Get My Go YouTube channel. I know we don't have any exciting videos like but check us out, subscribe. And if you love JD and you hate us, let us know. We don't care. We're not sensitive like JD is. All right, Chad, thank you very much. And quote unquote.